Investigations for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and I'm here this morning to announce the arrest of Jeremy Christian Pittman for the murder of Robert Lynn Hucks. We first received a call from an out-of-town friend of the victims on the expressing concern because he had not spoken to the victim the night before. The victim's mother then, the very next day, called the police, and she also expressed concern because she hadn't heard from her son. We conducted a welfare check in the 2100 block of College Street, which was the victim's residence. At the time that we conducted the welfare check, there were no signs of foul play evident, and the victim was not home. Later, the mother filed a missing persons report with us, and the case was upgraded to a missing persons case, and a detective was assigned. Again, there was still at this time there were no signs of foul play, and it should be noted that the victim has ties to a couple of different states, including Kansas and Georgia. As the investigation proceeded, we started developing some thoughts of foul play. The investigation was then, we made the decision to bring in a homicide team to work in conjunction with the missing persons unit. Their investigation revealed that the suspect and the victim were last seen leaving a bar in the 800 block of Willow Branch Avenue together, and the suspect and the victim then went to the suspect's home. They got in an argument, and the victim asked the suspect to take him back to his home. Somewhere in between the victims, or the suspects and the victim's home, the suspect murdered the victim. He later dumped the victim's body in a wooded area in Camden County, Georgia. And it should be noted also that as we developed this information through an interview with the suspect, Camden County Sheriff's Office was also on the scene. Some hunters had found the body in the woods up there. The victim's body has been recovered, and the suspect is cooperating with investigators. I'd like to take this time to thank the Camden County Sheriff's Office for the assistance that they gave us on the scene. And if you have any questions for me now, I'll be glad to answer them.
Dana Train at the Times Union, when was the body found?
The body was found last night.
It was found last night. So, and this person has never been reported as a, I mean, it was a missing persons report, but it's never been reported as a homicide or.
Well, we didn't know it was a homicide at that time. When we were working the missing persons case, started developing the information which led us to the discovery.
So it became classified a homicide yesterday. I mean,
Yes.
when the body was discovered, you didn't know where he was prior to that.
Correct. Not until we actually interviewed the suspect.
Jacob Long, First Coast News. When it was still a missing persons case, and it sounds like it was, based on the report, for several days, more than a week, did you send out any sort of photos to the public, post anything, ask for people's help if they'd seen this young man?
You know, we did not. A decision was made at the time. Every missing persons investigation is different, and you have to go on what you have at that time. And decisions were made investigatively to not release that because we thought it might compromise the investigation. We knew which way we were going with the investigation, and we didn't want to do anything to compromise that.
Can I ask a follow-up question? I mean, if I'm this young man's mom, dad, loved one, and I would want as many eyes as possible on my young son that's missing, what harm could that do if you have the public also helping in your search?
It actually, you know, like I said, each case is different. You could, hypothetically, let somebody know that we were looking for, that we were actually going in his direction. You don't want to follow one cookie-cutter response to every missing persons report. And there's every indication that this occurred the very same night that the victim and the suspect left the bar. There's nothing to indicate that it had occurred later.
Do you have a cause of do you have a cause of death on this young man? How he was killed?
That's a detail that I can't really release at this time.
But do you think the murder happened in Jacksonville?
Yes.
Leslie Coursey, Action News. Could this be considered, or is it being investigated as a hate crime?
No, absolutely not.
Dana Trina, again, what was the relationship between these two gentlemen?
They were actually strangers. They met that night in the bar.
They were strangers.
Yes.
Can you confirm that the bar, Jacob Long, First Coast News again, can you confirm the bar is Metro, the gay bar?
Yes, I can.
And Leslie, with Action News, I'm hearing there's surveillance video from the Metro. Is that true? Have you guys been able to recover that?
I'm not going to comment on that at this time.
Okay, any further questions?
Matt Augustine, WOKV, when you said that this, the victim had ties to other states, do you just mean that he had been seen in other states, he had friends, or did he have criminal ties to other states?
No criminal ties whatsoever for either individual that I'm aware of. He had actually lived in other states.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
thank you, Chief.
Thank you.